Meeting to order. The first order of business is the warrant. I'll try to share the screen here. Let's see. Share screen. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
That's you, the host, right?
Something just flashed on the screen that said Bob Romilly is host now. So
she just gave me the host.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Judy did.
Okay, so you want to give me screen sharing capabilities?
I would if I knew how to do it.
So down at the bottom, Bob, where it says share, when you're the host, there should be a little in the top right of the share icon, there should be a little like up arrow just to the right of that. On the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, on the bottom, I've got the thing that says share screen.
Yep. And then is there a little, there should be a little like smaller arrow to the right of the share icon.
It's to the left between participants and share screen.
So multiple participants.
Yeah. So then go to like advanced sharing option, I think it says. And then it says, you should be able to click all participants can share.
Multiple participants. Okay.
That sounds scary.
Yeah.
Who can share all participants?
So most of our meetings lately have been logistical.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I'm sharing
Okay, you got it, Steve?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there we go.
Let me Control Alt. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. We've got the first invoice is from Russo Bar, $1,975. The next is from Rockwell Roofing, $23,227.50. Brian, do you want to comment on any of those?
Yeah, I mean they're just the Russo Bar one is just progress for construction administration stuff. The Rockwell one, you can see that's kind of winding down. The bulk of their billing was done prior to that. Yep. But they still have some retain. They still have a percentage left. I think they left 10% left, or 5 or 10% left, plus retainage. So we're still holding some money on them. But that's a progress billing for the roofer.
Okay. And then the third one is Johnson Roberts. This is for invoice 31, I think. 31. We haven't paid invoice 30 for some reason, which is $5,000. But at any rate, this is more to do with solar installation. And the total for this warrant is $36,920.90. Any discussion?
Steve, I sent a email to Brian. I don't know whether he's got all the information from them that he needs to close things out. And I didn't send it till late this afternoon. And I never got one back. An answer
So I did send him an email about this also today, Bob, and but we're still holding over $5,000 on them.
All right.
So is there a motion? Any other discussion? Is there a motion to accept the warrant?
So moved.
Yeah, and Steve, just one other comment on that. It looks like that column to the right, it says PO balance on Johnson Roberts. It looks like we still have 25,000 left on that PO, so there's plenty of money held there.
Oh yeah.
Good point. Yep. That's a good point.
So I'll second that motion to approve.
Okay, all in favor, roll call vote. Bob?
Bob Rama, yes.
Brian?
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Bartlett?
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
And Steve, yes. So motion carries. The next order of business is the agenda.
Minutes.
So can you see the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, the next order of business is to approve the minutes of October 11th and October 25th. Any comments on those?
Nope.
Is there a
Nope.
motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll
There's-
second it.
Okay. All in favor, Bob,
Romy, yes.
Brian,
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Bartlett,
Bartlett, Harvey, yes.
and Steve Moore, yes. Next is the Shaker Lane feasibility study. The information that I have on this so far is that the OPM credentials have been accepted by MSBA. We have a meeting scheduled with them on December 6th. And then it's going to go to the board sometime in December. So we should have our OPM on board, fairly soon after that. Library update. There is really nothing other than Mark Rombacher got a hold of me at town meeting the other night, said that there's been backups in the sewer system ever since the sewer project started. So we should keep an eye on that. Update on the Littleton High School roof. Brian, anything?
They're really done at this point. All they have left to do, they were there, I think it was last week, to remove their excess roofing materials. And I got a note from Steve Mark that they left behind some of the masonry bricks that they had up there for the masonry repair and some of the snow melt vendors tubing. So they've just got to go back, and Rockwell said they would go back and grab that stuff. But that's just kind of final cleanup. So they're substantially complete, and I'll be tracking down their closeout paperwork for warranty and stuff like that.
That's great. Any questions for Brian?
Brian, they got that, they were waiting for some material. That stuff all came in and is put in?
Yeah, I believe so. Based on the email from Rockwell, I believe it was done within the past, not this week, but I think they wrapped up last week. But I do want to double check and make sure that Steve Mark's satisfied with it, but I believe so.
Okay.
Can I comment that my informant at the high school wants to remind this board that the other parts of the roof still leak?
Yep.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay.
I think
All right.
Steve Mark has a handle on that. Any other comments on the roof? We have a senior center update, which I sent everybody. Do we want to discuss it? Let's see. I think I downloaded the senior center information here.
I think one of the things we talked about at the selectmen's meeting, Steve, was the fact that about the solar.
Refresh my memory on that, Bob.
The backup for power.
Oh, in the senior center, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So I have asked Brian to get a price for a solar or a generator ready backup, which would include a pad, a transfer switch, and the associated wiring between the transfer switch and the electrical panel. And I think Liz was anxious to have that as well.
Well, I know the police chief, Panard, was interested in getting it too.
I know he grabbed you and me as we walked into
Yeah.
the meeting the other night.
I think we have, I'm not sure, did they okay to go investigate the solar?
They did, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we have Karen, in the meeting here.
Yep. Yeah, we voted, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Karen.
We voted to authorize both the readiness and the generator.
Excellent. Good.
Is that so? I'm just noticing about the generator versus batteries. I don't know. I just want to say I suppose it can't hurt to investigate, but from my my day job, from what I understand, the pricing and lead times on batteries for this type of purpose have gone astronomical in the last couple of years.
That's interesting. And I apologize. I misspoke. When I said generator, I meant like battery backup. That's what you get for having a non-technical person here. So I apologize.
That's fine.
So yeah, we voted on we did vote that we thought the battery doing it now made sense versus, trying to do it later, as well as the solar, the readiness portion. There was some talk of an actual generator, and my recollection is that we didn't finalize any action on that one.
So, to Brian's point, batteries are expensive, and the fire services group in the state is imposing stringent fire protection
Okay.
requirements for those batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So that battery backup, as good as it sounds, may be cost prohibitive.
Okay. Well,
So,
just keep us posted.
Yeah, you said Brian's going to investigate the generator, Steve?
Well, I have asked him to get pricing. I'll confirm that with him.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would caution against the batteries at this time, just because. Yeah, I understand the appeal of getting away from a fuel fired generator, but it's really the intent is that wouldn't be loaded normally anyway. It'd only be emergency use, so it'd be very little fuel versus the batteries you have to deal with. Like Steve said, the fire protection and the cost of buying them up front.
I know the generator at the police station is a diesel fired generator, but I'm pretty sure you can get a gas fired one too, right?
You can.
Yes.
Well, you can, and we're not proposing that we install a generator. We just make a generator ready. So
Okay.
I understand there are people in town that want to make this fossil-free building, but there are some practical aspects that we need to look at.
Yeah, I think there was some thought that some of the newer grants that are coming out might be able to help with the battery, but I can certainly communicate back to the board that costs have gone up, and so we'll have to see how that pans out.
Yep. Yeah, we will be getting prices on the batteries and and all the associated protection associated with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Steve, I fully support the decarbonization and going fossil fuel free, but I hope people understand when they evaluate the cost for the batteries versus the generator, that the generator, you understand this part of it, but the generator may only run for a couple hours a year, and it would be a fractional percentage of the energy use of the building. So to overspend on batteries for that kind of use would be a little short-sighted, I think.
I agree with you, but we're not even contemplating installing a generator at this point. We're just making a
Gotcha.
generator
Yeah,
ready.
I'm fair. Yep. I'm getting ahead of head of the conversation.
So any other comments, thoughts on senior center?
We voted for the NTP, but I think that's in those notes. If I can, it's a little small on my screen, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
The NTP was issued for
Great.
Commodore, and they will be beginning work in the spring to avoid any kind of winter conditions. They'll be moving into the house, I think, sometime in February. Does that sound right, Karen?
yeah, it does. They're
Yeah.
working on an MOU, I think, on the house now.
Yeah.
Karen, is somebody taken over from the town to check on that to make sure that we've got enough fuel so the place doesn't freeze up?
We
Yeah,
did
that's on our radar. Yeah. Yep.
we did talk about that.
Yeah.
So, okay, now going back to the agenda, I think it's just member input at this time.
Yes.
So, anyway, yes, it's just member input. Bob, anything?
I'm all set, Steve.
Brian?
I'm all set as well, Steve.
Bartlett?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Karen, anything?
No, thank you for asking.
Great. Well, thanks for tuning in so we could get this warrant approved. Some of these invoices are a little bit old. And this means that we don't have to meet the day before Thanksgiving, and the next meeting is
December 13th.
December
13th.
correct. Okay, and Marilyn, I'll catch up with you on those other folders.
Okay.
Karen, thank you for dropping in.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Um,
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, all in favor, Bob,
Bob Rama, yes.
Bartlett,
Bartlett, yes.
Brian,
Brian Petwell, yes.
and Steve, yes. So thanks again, and we'll see you in December.